good opportunities to get this northeasterly rush out of the hoop. But not essential given where red is. You can play a croquet stroke to it as well.
It's nice and close to the hoop, so he should definitely get that
That
rush.
yeah,
Just as it was running up to the hoop, it looked like the ball lurched forwards and then back a little bit.
It bobbled, didn't it? We've had a little bit of stress level going up watching it possibly roll out line.
It's a good solid rush to your boundary.
Good clear path to the...
Yeah, approaching red from the right direction, I guess.
He has room to put blue to one back going to red, but he's been electing to put it as a deep ball below hoop sits down towards B-port quite often on these things. But it might be because he's been squeezed on for room. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. This one's going to one back, nicely done.
Yeah, he's just going to have to cut red a little bit here.
Yeah, you may not mind that. I mean, the peel will be a little bit longer, but it'll be straighter, and it should be just a turn around to rush the black straight at hoop sets. You won't have to do too much work with it. It's a nice shot.
It'll be interesting to speak to players afterwards and find out exactly when they're down there lining things up with their eye, exactly what point they're aiming at. No, that's not got the peel, and it's a bit of distance there.
A little bit of cramped on the black. Yeah, put some cut into it. Yeah, no, it was a good insight. Well, what everybody does slightly different on that lineup and what they're expecting out of the result and that. And because there has, like you say, there's been a few random results, isn't there, and which could be part of the balls. And
no, obviously the hoop is most important, but it'll be interesting to see if you get to rush out with black afterwards, and that was a nice approach from the side.
Red stayed handy enough to the hoop for a rush peel, didn't it? So he could be rush peeling and putting red to 2 back on it.
Yeah, you're right. It's sitting almost in the jaws, I think.
Rust is just gently north. Nice, no. It's
Oh, it's
rushing.
almost up to
Yeah,
one,
yep.
2 back there.
Yep. It puts a little bit on that the takeoff to Peel. He needs to be, you know, more on the money than just he possibly could have given himself.
Howdy viewers, Edward Wilson back in the box. What's happening?
Welcome back.
We're up to 4 back and 4.
Indeed, so it looks like we're going to see a rush Peel here.
That is a excellent weight. That's actually a extremely good shot. And so he rush loaded the hoop. Yeah, a couple of very classy shots there. I was disappointed I was climbing up the stairs and missed them.
So I think Red's about to get smashed onto the boundary here.
I think you're, very astute observation. Yeah, Reg will pound this through. It'll give him slightly a better ratio with the split to be able to put Red to penalt going to 1 back. And yeah, as you saw all the way through. So the score's just not quite coming up on the screen.
It will.
In a sec.
It just, I think it polls every couple of seconds or so. There's a slight delay. It will.
So good little roll from Bamford there. He'll have a rush back, ideally to the north boundary. And Red should be south enough that if he gets a rush sort of directly back, so he's 7 or 8 yards east of corner 2 there, he'll be able to play a nice ratio stop shot, popping blue down slightly west of hoop 3 back, getting a rush. Yeah, exactly where he's looking right there. So 7 or 8 yards east of corner 2.
They've got the score updated there as well. Thanks for the help.
So yeah, run through a few yards, all very straightforward from here. Just get this back onto the north boundary. I generally use these rushes when you go back onto the boundary as a bit of a loosener. You know, you're gonna hit it onto the boundary, and you should middle it once you've been playing a tournament for 9 or 10 days. And after a few shots where you've you know, had to use a bit of control, you can just loosen the elbows and play through the ball nicely, and that's what Reg has done there, and still be pretty safe with your next shot. So this will go nicely, sort of slightly west of 3 back, getting a rush on Red to dead in front of penalt, ideally. Hard to see Essek getting back in here, isn't it?
It is. I guess he'll be sitting there in hope, I guess, but Reg looks pretty steady.
Yep, and there's not much you can do from the player's box, unfortunately. Blue is the wrong side of 3 back by quite a fair margin, and for the Rover Peel, I think 3 back might be slightly in the way of that to get a decent rush on Blue.
Yes, he's managed to cut it in there actually to penalt, and now he's got a big roll up the lawn.
Yep, standard death roll. Reg has played these at a very good weight. We saw him do one in the last game that landed, what was it, 1.5 yards, 2 yards, pretty straight in front of Rover. He's got the pull on these just about right, and the pull on these shots is one of the things that we've been talking about with the new balls. They're slightly hard to predict what direction the pull is going to go, especially with your tougher rolls. But yeah, as Chris Clark also mentioned earlier, Reg's delivery onto the balls means his pull is more consistent.
This is with the mallet clean onto the balls.
Yep. Cleanly, straightly, and with a slow, firm follow through. So it means that his pull is most of the time very predictable, and he's able to play this shot quite cleanly and efficiently.
Oh, it's just snuck through, made a bit of contact way through, but yellow's the important ball, I guess.
Yeah, yellow's important, and Reg won't be too disappointed with that. Just with where blue is, it's not a great ball to peel Rover going to. So, look, he'll probably just look to get red somewhere on the east boundary, and make sure the rush on blue is perfect. Going to 3-back and play the straight Rover. It's all fairly safe from here. A little bit of cloud cover, and the lawns are starting to slow down a touch. So, look, he'll be pretty comfortable at this point, and especially with heaps of lawn time and a finishing turn, I don't think he'll have any dramas. Just playing for the straight Rover peel. Yep. So there we see another one where he's just going to run to the boundary and have a perfect rush straight back up the lawn to red. And as I said, he'll most likely be just rushing red to the west boundary, somewhere ideally level with 3-back, which will give him a nice ratio and nice little split.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't bounce back towards him, actually. The ball sort of disappeared off.
Did it just hit that
that
bucket or
top,
whatever?
Yeah.
There we go.
Whatever that was, yeah.
Essex has solved the problem.
Yes.
Good
Just
on
wanted
him.
to stand on the lawn again one more time.
he'll be feeling you know,
he's still got a smile on his face there.
Bit lethargic at this point because there's not much he can do. He's still in play, but really, Reg is more than likely gonna finish it off here. You know, it's not over till the fat lady sings, but when we see Reg Bamford walking around the lawn and playing shots like he has this break, it's pretty hard to see a change in his play, and that change would be a breakdown.
That's the game. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. You get those few opportunities, you have to make them count. So
Yep, so he's got the rush west. Black is pretty good. Not the rush west.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just put his mallet on the spot where he wanted that ball there. Unfortunately for Edge, it wasn't there. But look at that. Great angle to see how he's cutting this ball.
About halfway up the lawn.
Halfway up the lawn.
Boundary.
He's got the angle to come behind blue just nicely. And he's got the luxury that blue is still south of 3-back. So it means that wherever he comes on the eastern side of blue, he'll be able to get it into a nice spot to approach the hoop. And no dramas.
So where do you think he's going to put red? Directly in front of Rover?
Ideally, yeah. If you don't need to touch red again, you'd be happy here. If you just got a nice rush out of 3-back down the lawn, taking it every day of the week, unless red's horrendous and 2 yards out, you wouldn't even consider coming back to it. I'd just try and put red a couple of feet nicely in front, anywhere within a yard straight in front's really good here. And when you've been on the lawns for a long time, like the last
all day,
6
yes.
hours, you're going to feel pretty confident with this shot. You know,
He's
you've-
just walking up the lawn a little bit there just to check where he wants this in relation to blue, I guess.
yeah, all pretty straightforward for Reg here. No,
It's going
Yes.
past blue, might hit. It has made
it's
contact.
not a great
Probably
shot.
Not going to be happy with that.
No, I'm not sure quite what was going on there, but he'll have to come to red now. And look, Reg would ideally. Oh, is he looking at
I've
doing
seen
a
some
rover peel?
interesting.
Okay,
So he
he's
might come out. He might put blue deeper. Yeah, this.
trying for this. Pushing for this rover peel before fallback here, which is something that you occasionally see, not necessarily regularly at the top level. And that's not a great approach. So what he was hoping to do was get nicely in front, run it through controlled and rush red in front of rover, peeling, going to blue. Good,
And he's made the
good
hoop.
shot.
That's
but he'll
I
have to
can hear-
hit red a bit harder than he would have liked here, and he definitely doesn't have the rush to in front of rover.
I can hear the round of applause downstairs from that.
And look, Reg is clearly feeling pretty comfortable out there. At the start of the day, he would have walked around that hoop shot for... Ooh. Walked around that hoop shot and that roquet for a couple of minutes each, but there he's just walked up to it and hit it, and you see one of the more dicey shots of the day, but no harm done. He's in break, has a nice short shot here, can get red in front with a good rush on blue down to somewhere east of black.
So no peel, but that looks very nice for red.
Yep. Good shot, Reg.
I think, there would have been some watching eyes from the boundary there, waiting for something, but
Look, I think there's a few weary faces downstairs who wouldn't mind this going the way it is currently going. See the great man in action and see him finish this strongly.
yeah,
Yeah, look, as it's been a great tournament for both players. Reg has dropped 4 games so far in the entire tournament, and Matthews dropped very little as well.
he had a very strong block play.
Extremely strong blocks.
A lot of triple
only
peels, I
one
think.
or two. Look, both players have earned their places in the finals. That is short from Reg. That's a long way short on both balls. It's got a... Can we just go to the on ground angle for this? So you
Yeah,
can see
yeah, you're right there.
that's actually a good 2.5 yard dribbler here. Should be okay, and it is. But it means that he's now
Not got control. He's gonna
not 100% control. Luckily, it's all fine. We're trying to make this look worse than it is. It's actually a very straightforward shot. He's overrun that as well. This is maybe just a little bit less concentration from the great man. End of the day, wants it over, knows he's going to finish it. And just a couple of shots, not quite perfect, but all under control here. Just get this into centre, and you'd feel pretty happy. Red's a great length in front of rover that you're not trying to be too tentative with how hard you're going to hit it. As long as you're within, a couple of feet of it, you're probably feeling pretty okay that it's going to stay in front of rover. Where if it was 6 inches dead in front, a couple of feet feels a bit longer.
a long way. Yep.
So Red's a good length in front of rover that he'll feel pretty comfortable with all the shots here. And that might be why he's just playing a bit quicker now. Just get it done. He knows that he's on the lawn and knows that he's feeling good.
Yeah,
That's
short
another
again.
sloppy shot.
Forcing him to cut.
Yeah, just not taking his time like Reg normally would. It's a good recovery.
We'll see if it gets straight in front here. Last two have been a little bit of an angle.
Yeah, few hoops in this break have been less than perfect. Good
That looks
shot.
in front. And straight through. Don't think touched the side there.
Touch wire, but yeah, pretty clean. Yeah, obviously playing a lot quicker now. It's getting late. Everyone's getting tired, including himself. I think he's keen to get off the
Been a
lawn.
long day, yeah.
Been a long tournament, and this has been the hottest day so far. And he's been out in the sun cooking for most of it.
Yeah, cloud has just come over slightly. Yeah, just over 30 degrees.
Yep. It's a good ball. Now Reg doesn't always pop in a side ball, depending on how perfect his Rover Pioneer is as partner. And yeah,
So
he may not pop one in here either.
do you think he'll just come behind red here or directly to the side of it?
Oh, you're probably just playing on the rush line to rush it to 6 inches dead in front. Like, I wouldn't be the side or in front. I'd just be sort of 45-degree angle to where it is
He's
now.
thinking of. He was thinking of taking off, I think, there.
Yeah, it's whatever you like to get a decent side ball. And the idea of a side ball is to have a ball that if you go through the hoop by 5 mil,
Yes, you've got something.
you can hit something. Yep. So he's come, as you said, directly to the side there. Might not have fancied hitting it any closer to the hoop. But he definitely doesn't have a side ball. And this is far enough out that it can be slightly complicated. You know, Reg
You just get both balls through and no more.
Reg is very good at playing this drive length, though.
Which I think we saw in the last game.
Yeah,
Yep.
that both balls will go through quite comfortably by a fair distance.
So he's definitely going to take his time on this shot. Maybe not the previous few, but this one counts.
Yeah. So we should see a nice flat drive.
There we go, both balls through.
Yep.
Now, what do you
Very
think
nice
you'll
length each.
use black as well? Or
Playing black first, just so it's out of your line. Hit it a couple of yards.
looks about equidistant,
Yep.
really.
Yeah, just with red coming through slightly to the east, you don't want to be playing between black and Rover. You just want a clear shot
Down towards the
out
peg.
the way. Yep, that you can play anywhere from 1 foot to 3 yards beside Rover. Beside the peg. So this should be. Is this Reg's 5th World Championship title if he wins it?
I'm
Or
not
is
sure. I
it
think
6th?
somebody had said 5, so maybe it is 6.
Gee whiz. This is a stat that we should know, um, but we don't. I'll see if I can quickly look it up.
Unfortunately, the researchers haven't put the paper in front of us. You know, we'll just check those details now.
Let me just go quickly check.
And so we have a rush down to the peg, hopefully missing the hoop. And he's just going to double check. This needs to be accurate. Does not want to find that hoop. And that's a good weight, peg high.
So quickly coming back onto how many World Championships he's won, the peanut gallery outstairs has no idea.
Oh wow!
We're
I thought
all
there would be people racing up the stairs to
we're
tell
all
these young
sort of
guys
going
like
5 or
you
6
don't know.
or something. But yeah, there's a couple of golf croquet World Championships in there. Either way, Reg is an absolute champion of our sport. He's been at the top level for the last, well over 30 years. Regularly world number 1, regularly in the top pointy end of World Championships. He's had a bit of an unlucky run for the last few, but to come out here and put a great performance down
It's
shows.
brought a lot of people out to watch.
Yep.
There are a lot of people that have come down. I see people sort of stopping him on his way to making a cup of tea or coffee and sort of
Exactly
shaking
right.
his hand.
They love seeing this man play. He's a
do.
fantastic role model for our sport. Okay, so we've got confirmation that this is his 5th
There we
World
have a peg
Championship.
out, and
Once he pegs yellow out. Really well done from Reg there.
and there we go.
Massive congratulations. Claps
There's a
all around.
handshake. Yep, we've got a full crowd of people.
Commiserations to Matthew Essick. He's done extremely well. 21 years old, pushing Reg to 4 there, but the great man was too strong on the day. Some good hitting, and Matthew Essick has made waves this tournament.
Oh, for sure. I think it's been a fantastic tournament for him. Obviously, he was hoping for the win, but I think he. I think someone said he's 21, so
Yeah,
I think
21.
there is some great stuff to come here.
That's a massive benefit for croquet in the United States. You know, having both the golf croquet current world champion and a finalist here has really cemented their spot as a true player in world croquet again. They're bright future for those guys over there, and Reg continues the incredible form and matches Robert Fulford's 5 World Championships.
And I think it's good when you've got somebody that's been consistently good for many years winning. They're still huge competitor, and with young people coming up hungry, I think it's going to make for a very interesting few years ahead. I think the roving microphone has been taken down, so I think we might be...
No worries. Happy with that. Thank you, viewers.
Letting somebody take over.
9 days of a wonderful tournament, which was preceded for some of us by 4 days of people have come from far and wide. Today has been more like a February day in Melbourne. So yes, you had a bit of cool weather, but yes, it can be unseasonable here. Now, without much ado, I would like to bring on the prize winners in turn and ask Ian Burridge, the president of the WCF, to issue the prizes. Now, I'm going to start with the plate winner. The winner is Alan Giraud. Alan must be here somewhere. Maybe he's at the bar. Here he comes, the plate winner.